Well, good morning, my friends. What is up? It's your friend and pal Seth. My pronouns are he and they. I want to welcome you to the morning inspiration video for today. And if you're keeping track, it's day number 13. It is day 13 of our morning inspiration videos. Isn't that amazing? I think that's incredible. I think that's amazing. So, I hope you're having a wonderful day and you're making it a fantastic day so far. If you're finding that you need a little bit of a boost this morning, or you just need a little bit more inspiration for your day and throughout your day, whatever time it is you're watching this video, I hope this video serves as that. I hope this video helps you feel at least just a little bit better, or you feel a little bit boosted up for your day. All right, so these morning inspiration videos, they include four things, okay? They include a morning quote and or lesson for the day. They include a song or songs for the day, knowing me, songs, song or songs for the day. They include some affirmations. And then at the end there, they also include a journal prompt, okay? So I say to kind of take what you need for the day, from this video and everything, and use it to help make your day that much better. All right. So without further ado, let us get into the morning quote / lesson for the day. So as I said, this is day 13. We've been talking the past 12 days about an array of a lot of different topics and everything. And yesterday we were kind of talking about comparing ourselves to others and kind of the detriments of that, and maybe also how we can use that to kind of propel and help us move forward. But today what I want to talk about is something that is really, really important, and something that is extremely beneficial for all of us, and can also be detrimental if we're not able to cultivate these on a daily basis. Okay, again, don't want to scare anybody. Okay, but it is something that I'm actually dealing with currently right now. But I also just really wanted to talk about it. Okay, as well, and that is boundaries. Okay, yes, that B word, boundaries. All right, so what I'm going to do is going to start with the quote for the day. Okay, and this quote is by Anna Taylor. And Anna Taylor says, "Love yourself enough to set boundaries. Your time and energy are precious. You get to choose how you use it. You teach people how to treat you by deciding what you will and won't accept." I'm going to read that one more time. Love yourself enough to set boundaries. Your time and energy are precious, precious. You get to choose how you use it. You teach people how to treat you by deciding what you will and won't accept. Isn't that deep? I had read that quote actually yesterday. As I said, I one of the things I was doing yesterday was actually really setting my boundaries, or trying to set my boundaries with an individual in my life, and over time, it was actually a lot harder in the past. And over time, as I've been able to kind of go through my own wellness journey and my own healing, it started to get a little bit easier. And yesterday, it was one of those things where it really came to a head. All right. So, and in kind of the hustle and the bustle of everything going on, I found this quote about boundaries and said, "Ooh, I got to add this to my list of quotes." I love quotes and everything, and I really got to add this one in. Okay, and this one by Anna Taylor is really, really powerful. So, when it comes to boundaries in our life, there are four kinds. Okay, I was kind of doing some research on this. There are four types of boundaries, and the first one is the physical boundaries. Okay, so physical boundaries kind of relate to our own comfort level with physical touch and personal space. All right. Emotional boundaries, those are kind of more about protecting our emotional well-being by limiting our what's the word? Exposure. That's the word. Limiting our exposure to kind of negative emotions or possibly manipulative behavior from other people. Okay. So kind of an example on that one. Have you ever found that you've been in like a really great mood or things have been going really well, and then you say you want to go, hang out with a friend or hang out with a family member or even a romantic partner and everything, and all they are is they're just negative. Everything is going wrong for them, and all they're doing is sprouting all this negativity and this hate, and it's like, whoa, you know have you found that when you once you're able to kind of distance yourself from them or you say goodbye or whatever, you found that you've taken on a little bit of that negativity as well? Let me know if that has ever happened to you, or or the high that you were feeling, or that excitement and amazingness that you were feeling before you started hanging out with this person is a little bit lower, just a little bit lower. Now, that's one of those things that can be normal, but I think it's also one of those things where it's like, okay, maybe what I need to start doing is kind of limiting how much I spend time with this person. Now, again, this can be, about like cutting someone out of your life completely, but also I think kind of limiting the amount of time that you spend with them, while in the same process not limiting the time that you spend with more positive, successful, and happy people that you want to be hanging out with. People that support you, people that motivate you, right? So, that's our physical and emotional boundaries, our mental boundaries. Okay, these are boundaries that kind of help us to maintain our thoughts, okay, and beliefs without kind of being influenced by the pressures and everything of other people. But then there's the spiritual ones. The spiritual ones have our kind of our these concern our kind of relationship with spirituality. Okay, not necessarily religion, like our spirituality and our values, what we truly believe. And what about a spiritual boundary will help us do is kind of distinguish between our own values and our own beliefs and what we believe and what we value and what other people value and believe. In other words, they're not forcing theirs onto you in a way. Okay, so these are kind of the four really powerful boundaries for all of us and boundaries in our lives. Okay. Now, as I kind of said, this is not something that's always easy to be able to do and be able to cultivate, to, be able to set boundaries. Because, I know for myself, it has not been something that is always easy. And I'm a type of person that does not like confrontation at all, you know. But yesterday, a lot of things really came to a head with someone, and they were just going off at me and telling me I'm this and telling me I'm that. It's suggestive language, which I'm not going to use on here. And everything. So it really got really bad, and it really got difficult. What happened was this person was just yelling and screaming, and I have some roommates and everything, and it was one of those things that I kind of got them knocking on my door, going, "Oh my God, are you okay? What's going on in there?" and everything. So it was one of those things where I pretty much just had to say, "Look, I'm not going to apologize for setting my own boundaries and for taking care of myself." And that was something she did not like that I said that, of course. But it's one of those things where it's like, apologizing for taking care of myself and loving myself and doing what I need to do for myself, that's never something to apologize for. Having that self-love and self-respect for ourselves is crucial, and it's beneficial for all of us, So it's just one of those things where, what, you just got to distance yourself from some of those people and some of those places too, So boundaries. Again, not always easy, but So let's move into our songs for the day. Okay, I said songs because I got two. Okay, and the first one is "Sorry Not Sorry" by Demi Lovato. Okay, if you never heard that song, it is a good daggone song. It's got a beat. It's got you're dancing to it. It's amazing. All right, now what this song is about, Demi Lovato actually said in an interview, and she said, "This is a song for the haters. with the message, you know what? I'm good. I'm good now. And sorry, I'm not sorry that you may not be loving where your life is right now. Isn't that deep? I love that. Okay, it's like I'm sorry, but not sorry. You know? And this can actually be what happens when we start kind of again distancing ourselves from the haters and from and setting those boundaries. And I think I said in a previous video that the word haters is can be an acronym. Having anger towards everyone reaching success. Amen and boom. Okay, there we go. So that's one of the songs. Okay, the other song, this is another song I really love. It's called "Who's Laughing Now" by Jessie J. This song is really good. Also, if you've never seen the music video to this song, it is funny as anything, but it is so good though. Okay, and this one is it's a song about taking pride in our achievements and kind of having the last laugh at those who doubted us in the past. Okay, when we're able to really start setting boundaries with a lot of people, we're finding that when we quiet that noise, we're able to really move forward, really able to kind of stay motivated. And that's kind of how I feel today. By setting that boundary, I was kind of able to kind of take back control and go, you know what? You may not have any faith in me. I have faith in me. Okay, and my opinion is the only one that matters. Amen, plain and simple. All right, so those are the two songs, Sorry Not Sorry by Demi Lovato and Who's Laughing Now by Jessie J. Awesome songs, guys, okay? Awesome. All right, so let's move into our affirmations. Okay, as I said, as we always do in these videos, I'm going to give you a few, and then the prompt will be for then you. What are some other affirmations that you can use? All right, so let's go through these. All right. I create healthy boundaries that make me feel safe and respected. I have the right to say yes or no to any situation or request. And I set boundaries from a place of self-love, not from guilt and not from shame. Let's go through them again. I create healthy boundaries that make me feel safe and respected. I have the right to say yes or no to any situation or request. And I set my boundaries from a place of self-love, not from guilt and not from shame. Take those in. See how they settle with you and see how they feel for you. And then I'll also say, what are some other affirmations that you can use today to remind you to set your boundaries from that place of self-love and self-respect? So, with that being said, let's move into our journal prompts for the day. Now, remember in the opening quote by Anna Taylor, talking about kind of how I hate to say it like this, but it's kind of like you train people on how to treat you, so to speak, in a way. You pretty much tell people what we're pretty much doing is pretty much telling people how to treat us. All right. So, in a way. So, as your journal prompt, if you are writing a rule book for all of your interpersonal relationships, your family relationships, family, friends, romantic relationships, all of that. If you were writing a rule book for all of your interpersonal relationships, what would the first 5 rules be? Just something to think about. So if you're writing a rule book for all of your relationships, what would the first 5 rules be? Now, again, I know that some relationships are different, but I would bet that some rules would actually be the same in all relationships. At least 1 or 2, maybe even 3. Okay, so that's just something to think about. Maybe a journal prompt for you to think about for today. All right. So that'll about do it. for this morning video, we're talking about boundaries. We had that first quote by Anna Taylor. We got a little bit of some clarity on what boundaries are. We got physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. Okay. We had our 2 song recommendations for the day. We went through some affirmations together. I hope you're able to kind of cultivate some more affirmations. And then also, again, we have our journal prompt. If you're writing a rule book for all of your interpersonal relationships, what would the first 5 rules be? If you can't think of 5, just think of 1. Okay? Just think of 1. All right. So that'll about do it. For our morning inspiration video for today. I definitely hope you got a lot out of this video. Before we go, two things here. Set your attention down to the clicker on the bottom there. Don't quit before the miracle happens. Find ways to keep moving forward. If you find that you have people in your life that all they are doing is putting you down or making you feel like you are worthless or making you feel like you don't matter and that you don't have a voice, get them out of your life. Get them out. Okay? And if you can't get them out completely, find ways to limit your exposure to them. And then, in essence, on the other side, fill your life up with incredible, supportive, powerful people. I call this our chosen family. It's something I'm going to be talking about in the next few days. So, just a little tip. All right? Don't quit before that miracle happens. All right? And as I always say at the end of these videos, stay positive, stay motivated, stay focused on your amazing and huge dreams and goals. Keep moving forward. Keep striving forward. You are worth it, and you are awesome. All right? Thank you so much for watching. I sincerely appreciate you, and I will see you in the morning inspiration video for tomorrow. Take care. Thank you so much.